From Los Angeles to a worldwide audience, this is Boaz Power TV, where we take your life to the next level. Now, internationally known speaker and author, here's Boaz.
Hi, welcome to the Power Show. You're part of the Power Nation, and I'm so glad you're here. Here we help you improve your attitude, your relationships, your finances, and your career. This is episode number 140, Boaz Power TV, and I call this one, Take Command of Your Army. Dwight D Eisenhower, ahead of his days as President of the United States, had a certain philosophy as an army general that bears the secret of why some people succeed and so many fail. He said, optimism and pessimism are infectious, and they spread more rapidly from the head downward than in any other direction. Optimism has a most extraordinary effect upon all with whom the commander comes in contact. With this clear realization, I firmly determined that my mannerisms and speech in public would always reflect the cheerful certainty of victory. That any pessimism and discouragement I might ever feel would be reserved for my pillow. My goodness. And here's the general who commanded armed forces on that day, D-Day, in World War II. My latest experience as a professional speaker proved General Eisenhower's philosophy in a most profound way. On a yearly basis, I conduct over 100 seminars worldwide, many of them for company presidents. These audiences are comprised of 12 to 15 CEOs each. These meetings are usually held at member companies. However, once a year, these groups have retreats where spouses are invited to attend. The retreats are often held at lovely resorts. One of the 1,000 plus seminars that I've conducted over the past 25 years, a retreat I conducted for a group of CEOs the other day, has got to rank as one of the most unusual situations I have ever encountered. It truly called upon all of the optimism I could possibly muster and all of the leadership abilities I could exemplify as a commander of my audience. Up to that point, all of my hundreds of speaking engagements had taken place either in large auditoriums or in boardrooms of companies. These I would call controlled environments. The environment of my latest presentation, this was back in 2004, although a beautiful location, was at the other end of the spectrum. It took place outdoors on a long backyard covered patio of a lovely lakefront home in a wooded area about 40 miles southeast of Rochester, New York. When I arrived at the scene at 8 a.m., the leader of the group was quite concerned because the sky was overcast and there was a possibility of rain. In addition, instead of having auditorium seats or nice chairs around a boardroom table, we had chaise lounges and a variety of outdoor chairs spread around the outside area. Now, I teach people how to conduct powerful meetings. The rules include having your audience sitting close to each other in a confined area and no distractions. It just makes for better vibes among the people. Here it appeared as if the audience, comprised of over 20 people, would be spread out from each other, and the distraction was the possibility of rain. Although most everyone would be under the roof, any amount of rain would drench those sitting close to the edge. I, as the speaker, would have to stand beyond the roof so everyone could see me. I guess you could say my message had the possibility of being all wet. The natural human instinct when we're faced with an uncontrollable new situation is to panic mentally and to let pessimism paralyze us. However, as General Eisenhower stated so eloquently, optimism has a most extraordinary effect upon all with whom the commander comes in contact. With this clear realization, I firmly determined that my mannerisms and speech in public would always reflect the cheerful certainty of victory. Keep in mind, the group runs at the speed of the leader. So who's following you? Thus, even though I was quite uneasy about the setup, I put on my most optimistic face and took command of my environment. I asked for help from the participants. We pulled all of the outdoor chairs close together, got jackets for those sitting near the edge of the roof, and I confidently announced that I was optimistic about the rain holding off. Each of us has two personalities within our minds. As General Eisenhower said, they're known as optimism and pessimism. If we don't learn to control pessimism, it will overpower optimism. Pessimism comes naturally. Optimism is something we have to work on constantly. I certainly do. In the light of an uncontrollable physical situation that morning, I disregarded the pessimistic thoughts that flooded my mind and pretended to be optimistic. I decided that one way or another, I was going to make this a successful event. So as I started my seminar with enthusiasm, a light rain began to fall, mostly on me. An audience member loaned me a jacket, a baseball cap, and I continued. The more I pretended to feel confident and optimistic, the more the audience began to respond. Before I knew it, it was a fun, exciting atmosphere developed, and everyone was enjoying the event. By taking charge of my environment like a general taking command of his forces, I quickly forgot the unusual atmosphere, and everything was fine. In the final analysis, this ended up being one of my most successful seminars that I've ever conducted. Everyone seemed to gain so much from my ideas and from each other. I guess General Eisenhower was right. Optimism has a most extraordinary effect upon all with whom the commander comes in contact. Where in your life can you interject a little more of this? Well, I'm optimistic you'll find a place. So, the affirmation for this episode of Boaz Power TV is as follows. You may want to write it down. I am the commander of my life. I lead with optimism. Oh, I like that. I am the commander of my life. I lead with optimism. If this is something you need, read this out loud the first thing every morning and the last thing every night for at least 21 days. You'll be amazed what it'll do for you and your life. And there may be people to work with you or your children that can also use this affirmation. If you like these messages, and a lot of people worldwide find them highly beneficial, please do me a favor and send 5 people you know, friends of yours, to my website, boazpower.com, so they can also sign up, subscribe to the free weekly broadcasts on Boaz Power TV. Let's help them with more optimism. I'm optimistic. We all can. You are special. You are unique. You are destined for greatness. Thank you for joining me. I see it in you. You are a champion. Have a powerful day.
This has been Boaz Power TV. To comment, see other episodes, or to subscribe to this free broadcast, go to our blog at boazpower.com. That's boazpower.com. We're here to take your life to the next level.